Menu narration option is set to
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be so.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Ready, break.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. From the gun, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz, man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the whip.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
50, plant. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. They run with Howard. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here we go, Pac-Man. 280! Sunday! Watch take the creek, watch take the creek!
The Wind's going to try and throw on 3rd. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
On second down, Kamara. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
70, 80.
Off the bootleg, Lawrence. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Fielded at about the 28. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Eagles to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bucs. They lead here as well as they come up on 1st down. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
81.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this one's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Open man is Galladay, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 19.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This pass complete, wins to Ertz, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards is the pickup, good for an Eagle 1st down. So in Saints territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Wentz again. He'll get this one to Galladay, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
You're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lawrence. Caught here by Griffin. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw, Lawrence.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Mike. Ready.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming. It's going to be long.
Wentz now on 1st down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. Yeah, that'll be back 5.
What we got? He's coming. Double up.
Again, it's Wentz. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 30 on second down, Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Wentz to throw. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 30.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now Wentz on third down. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll wind up getting 8, but it's not enough. Fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down.
Here we go. Mike 22, Mike 22.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Check nine, check nine. Check go.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Open man is... Michael Thomas. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A check of the scoreboard there in the third in Baltimore. And the Ravens have added to their lead. Lamar Jackson, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Josh Doxson's got it, complete. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
You got 3 down. Ready?
On 4th down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get
now really hoping for a turnover.
Check 26, check 26. Check.
On 1st down, Wentz. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
22's coming, 22's coming. Mike. 5. Mike's 22, Mike's 22. Somebody got man.
Hey, kill. Hey, 4-2, kill.
22's coming, 22's coming. Mike.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. This is caught. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Wentz again. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Wentz now to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
To throw, it's Wentz. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
To throw on second down, Lawrence. Short pass caught by the tight end Griffin. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on, set. 60 or General West.
You got blocked me.
Tight guard. Hit it.
From the gun, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. On fourth down, Lawrence. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well. That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. To throw is Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Brian Poole. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, are you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Elsewhere, 4th quarter score now from Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Lamar Jackson with 1 touchdown pass thus far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. He's got his man. This is Dodson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a first. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this was truly a